Top 10 reasons. If Leviathan is real or not, unraveling the mythical sea monster. Throughout history, the idea of massive sea monsters lurking beneath the ocean's depths has captured the imagination of sailors, explorers, and storytellers alike. One such creature that has endured in legends across different cultures is the Leviathan. Described in ancient texts as a colossal sea serpent or dragon, the Leviathan has been depicted as a terrifying force of nature, capable of sinking ships and devouring sailors. But as with many mythical creatures, the question remains, is the Leviathan real or merely a product of human imagination? In this exploration, we dive into the top 10 reasons why the Leviathan might or might not be real, analyzing historical accounts, scientific discoveries, and the enduring power of myth. 1. Ancient texts and mythological accounts. Reason for real. One of the strongest reasons people believe in the Leviathan's existence is its detailed description in ancient texts, particularly religious and mythological writings. In the Hebrew Bible, the Leviathan is described as a monstrous sea creature created by God. In the book of Job, for instance, the Leviathan is portrayed as a fearsome beast with impenetrable scales and fiery breath, impossible to defeat by human hands. The concept of the Leviathan also appears in other cultures, such as the Babylonian myth of Tiamat, a primordial sea dragon, and the Norse myth of Jörmungandr, the world serpent. These consistent descriptions across various cultures suggest that early civilizations might have encountered, or at least believed in, gigantic sea creatures. Reason for not real. However, the Leviathan's presence in religious and mythological texts can be interpreted symbolically. Many scholars argue that the Leviathan was a metaphor for chaos or evil, representing the unpredictable and dangerous nature of the sea. The imagery of a massive sea creature could have been used to illustrate the awe and fear ancient people felt toward the vast, untamable oceans. 2. Sightings by sailors and explorers. Reason for real. Throughout history, sailors and explorers have reported sightings of massive, unknown sea creatures that closely match the descriptions of the Leviathan. In the Middle Ages, European sailors would often speak of enormous serpents and dragons rising from the ocean to attack ships. Even in more modern times, mysterious sea creatures have been spotted by seasoned mariners. For example, in the 18th century, French explorer Pierre Denis de Montfort wrote about a massive squid-like creature capable of dragging ships under the sea. These reports give some credence to the idea that the Leviathan, or something like it, may have once roamed the oceans. Reason for not real. Skeptics argue that many of these sightings could be explained by exaggeration, misidentification, or fear. Sailors often spent months at sea, where isolation and harsh conditions might cause them to see things that weren't there, or exaggerate encounters with marine life. What might have been a large whale or school of dolphins could easily be transformed into a sea monster in a sailor's tale. 3. The Kraken and real giant squid. Reason for real. The giant squid is one of the few real-life creatures that could be seen as a modern-day Leviathan. For centuries, the existence of the giant squid was thought to be a myth, closely tied to legends of the Kraken, a giant octopus-like creature said to attack ships in Scandinavian folklore. However, in the late 19th century, giant squid carcasses began washing up on shores, proving that enormous, mysterious creatures do live in the deep sea. The largest known giant squid can grow up to 43 feet long, with tentacles capable of enveloping ships and pulling sailors into the depths. This discovery shows that the oceans still hold creatures that resemble the Leviathan in both size and ferocity. Reason for not real. While the giant squid is indeed massive, it doesn't fully match the terrifying descriptions of the Leviathan as an impenetrable, fire-breathing creature. The discovery of giant squid may have fueled the myth of sea monsters, but it's far from proof that the Leviathan itself exists. The squid's relatively docile behavior toward humans also suggests that it is not the aggressive, ship-destroying creature described in ancient texts. 4. Unexplored ocean depths. Reason for real. One of the strongest arguments for the potential existence of the Leviathan is the fact that more than 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. The deep ocean is a largely uncharted territory, filled with mysterious and unknown creatures. New species are being discovered regularly, and some are so strange and alien-like that they challenge our understanding of marine life. The existence of creatures like the giant squid and the colossal squid shows that enormous predators can live in the ocean's depths, far beyond the reach of human eyes. It's possible that a creature like the Leviathan could be hiding in these dark, deep waters, unseen by modern technology. Reason for not real. While the deep ocean remains a mystery, scientists believe that the chances of an undiscovered creature as large as the Leviathan existing are slim. Modern sonar, deep-sea submersibles, and other technology have mapped much of the ocean floor, and no evidence of a massive sea serpent has been found. If such a creature existed, it would likely have been detected by now. 5. Marine fossils and prehistoric creatures. Reason for real. Fossil evidence suggests that giant marine reptiles once roamed the seas during the time of the dinosaurs. One of the most terrifying examples is the Mosasaurus, a massive predatory reptile that lived during the late Cretaceous period. Measuring up to 59 feet in length, the Mosasaurus resembled a massive crocodile and could easily have been the basis for Leviathan-like legends. The discovery of fossils from other large sea creatures, such as the Megalodon, a prehistoric shark that grew up to 60 feet long, also lends credence to the idea that ancient humans might have encountered and feared similar creatures, sparking the creation of the Leviathan myth. Reason for not real. While fossils of giant sea creatures exist, these species died out millions of years ago. There's no scientific evidence that creatures like the Mosasaurus or Megalodon survived into the human era. The Leviathan's existence would require a species that has somehow escaped extinction, which is highly unlikely given the fossil record. 6. Ancient fear of the ocean. Reason for not real. The Leviathan could be an embodiment of humanity's fear of the unknown, particularly the sea. In ancient times, the ocean was a vast and mysterious place that symbolized danger, chaos, and death. Sea monsters like the Leviathan were likely used to personify the unpredictable and often deadly nature of the sea. The Leviathan may have been a mythological representation of natural ocean disasters, such as storms, whirlpools, and tsunamis, which were difficult for early civilizations to understand. These natural events were often seen as the wrath of sea gods or monsters. Example: sailors in ancient times frequently attributed shipwrecks to sea monsters, as they had no scientific explanation for severe storms or rogue waves. 7. Cultural symbolism and allegory. Reason for not real. The Leviathan may not have been intended as a literal creature, but rather as an allegory for larger concepts like evil, chaos, or the power of nature. In the Bible, for instance, the Leviathan is often used as a symbol of the forces that oppose God and divine order. Its terrifying nature represents the overwhelming power of sin and destruction. Many cultures used sea monsters to symbolize forces beyond human control, like natural disasters, the unpredictability of life, or even political chaos. In this view, the Leviathan serves as a narrative tool rather than evidence of a real creature. 8. Modern cryptozoology. Reason for real. Cryptozoology, the study of hidden or unknown animals, is a field that remains open to the possibility of creatures like the Leviathan. Cryptozoologists believe that some mythical creatures could be undiscovered species or remnants of prehistoric animals that have survived into modern times. The idea of a Leviathan-type sea serpent falls squarely into this category. Some modern-day reports of mysterious sea creatures continue to emerge, fueling speculation that the Leviathan, or something like it, could still exist in the unexplored reaches of the ocean. Reason for not real. Mainstream science remains highly skeptical of cryptozoological claims, pointing out that most reports of sea monsters are either hoaxes, misidentifications of known animals, or exaggerations. Without physical evidence, the Leviathan remains firmly in the realm of myth rather than science. 9. The power of storytelling. Reason for not real. The Leviathan's enduring presence in culture could be attributed to the human tendency to create stories that explain the unknown. From ancient mythology to modern-day films and books, sea monsters have been a staple of storytelling. The Leviathan's legend has been passed down through generations, growing more elaborate with each retelling. Much like the Loch Ness Monster, the Leviathan may persist in popular imagination due to its ability to captivate and thrill, rather than because of any real evidence of its existence. 10. Scientific discovery versus legend, reason for real or not real. Ultimately, the debate over whether the Leviathan is real or not comes down to the balance between scientific discovery and the power of myth. While there is no definitive evidence that a creature like the Leviathan exists today, the ocean remains one of the most mysterious places on Earth. As long as there are unexplored depths and untold stories, the possibility of something like the Leviathan will continue to intrigue people. Myth or reality? While science leans toward the Leviathan being a myth, rooted in ancient fears of the unknown and natural disasters, the ocean's mysteries leave room for speculation. Whether a real creature or a symbol of chaos, the Leviathan continues to capture the human imagination, standing as one of the most enduring sea monsters in history. Please share, hit that subscribe button and comment for more stories like this. Thanks for watching.